All right, today is it's gonna be the third day, and I've got the intake back on. If you look at the previous video, we had intake off, and it was just a 2-day event. Of originally, I was supposed to clean the valves, didn't work out because one of the valves wasn't working. Had to pull the valve cover, pull that off. Wound up finding one of the rockers on cylinder 3 that fell out, and that's thrown somewhere. But I'll put a reference, the tag in the video here. And so I took a lot of unorthodox measures. I didn't go through the typical torque wrench everything. I did reuse the cylinder head bolts, or the cam cover bolts here. Those fasteners are reused. Okay, I gotta I still got a couple things I gotta get put back into place. I did do a dry start, just turn the, spark plugs in there, just turn the car over, and it does sound normal for the most part, no clunking. We did that in the previous video. There's no noise. I just didn't go by the book on this, put it that way. I just kind of did like with any conventional car. I reuse fasteners. I didn't use the sealant because this is a anaerobic, and I said that on my own today. Anaerobic sealant here that I got from Advanced Auto for $16 in comparison to $160. So we're going to see how well this hold up. I got some new spark plugs I got to put in here. I do have a hotter range. These are not the standard plugs that go in here because this car was just known for having issues on cylinder 3, and I was satisfied with the burn despite the oil consumption issue it had. So I don't have the appropriate plug. These are hotter plugs. I got a what is it, Autolite AP606. These are platinum, like a naturally aspirated heat range. So we're going to see if there's no noise, because we're going to do the first startup, and then we're going to see if this sealant actually holds up and seals in comparison to what I should have used, which was something from the factory, which I didn't purchase. So we're going to find out two things today. If I fucked up, or if it's the antithesis and everything worked out very well, and this is going to be a successful repair despite me not using a torque wrench, going exactly by the book, and exercising a little bit of common sense. Now, I didn't torque those bolts down. I tried with 9 Newton meters, but my torque wrench don't get that low, it seems, and some of them were questionable. It clicked on some, and then some were just kept turning, and I didn't feel comfortable overdoing the fastener to break it, and I'll be SOL. So I just kind of snugged it down, and I've had vehicles in the past where, like it was my personal car. This was years ago, but I had put the B18, those little 10 millimeter head fasteners for the cam caps will break. And I'm gonna be honest, it was something that broke, and it was mine, and it worked. But these aren't broken. Everything's in there. They're just not going to be as torqued down as they're supposed to, because technically they should have been replaced. But we're going to find out, and I do have personal accountability. That's why this is getting documented, and we're going to see if what they say is completely necessary, or being that real life is real life and you can apply common sense to repairs. So we're gonna find that out. Let me get these plugs in here, and let's see what the first startup looks like. Man, I thought I was recording and I wasn't. I am so stupid. Like, all this work just to get a first startup, and I can't even replicate that. Let me just explain. It works fine. It just like if you was to put a new cylinder head on here and have a first time startup, it done the same thing. I mean, it's running perfectly smooth right now. It just had a hard time starting up with because of the brake cleaner I put into the intake, and because the fuel system hasn't been primed or anything. So it works fine. I'm going to start up now. This is the second official startup, and after all the bugs had worked themselves out and the motor was trembling and shaking a little bit, it runs fine. So this is the actual second startup. It's not hot, it's just warm. I just let it run for about 60 seconds till I realized the damn camera wasn't running. Yeah, so here's the second startup. So yeah, I do greatly apologize because again, that could not be replicated. So it wasn't nothing catastrophic. Everything sounds normal, works normal. I'm not going to change the oil until I put some miles on it. So let me get everything buttoned back up and reset the odometer and we'll take it on a drive. Alright, so back in the car. I had a Ken came by from O'Reilly's, but we sat there and talked for a while, and we were talking about 30 minutes. So the car has been running on its own for approximately 40 minutes, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to reset the trip here. If I can. So we got that one. So it's only one. Okay, cool. So there's one trip here. The car starts up really good. I don't know if you can hear it, but it just starts up so well. I mean, it just runs so well. So I know I'm gonna have to change the oil and stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some miles on it, and I'm gonna show you everything like a before and after. So everything's clean right now under the hood as it was when we initially looked at it in the previous video. So we're gonna I'm gonna take it for a drive, get about 15-20 miles on it, and then I'm gonna change the oil tomorrow and put 50 miles on it before I give it back to her to make sure everything's working appropriately. But here's my reference. Here's where we're starting at, 0. So we're back about 20 miles. Alright, so I'm done driving the vehicle. I got 61 miles driven. And that pretty much consisted of my job today, just driving this car around, making sure it's not stalling, clunking, tinging, or doing anything abnormal. But let's go ahead and take a look under the hood, see what the valve cover looked like, or the cam cover, however you want to call it, and we'll talk more about it. Alright, so yeah, this is the anaerobic sealant that I got from Advanced Auto. It wasn't that expensive, and it did work out pretty well. Again, there's no leaks, no anything. I mean, it served its purpose. So if anybody else have to use this in this situation, save themselves $140. It seems like a viable option here. No check engine lights or anything's on, and again, it starts up and runs just fine. Ned didn't have any. It was really responsive when pulling off, unlike before when I would just put plugs in there. And I understand because I mentioned how I had a breather on there, it was a little sluggish accelerating, but being everything's hooked up fine now, it does have a lot, and that valve is repaired, it does have a lot more response in comparison to what it did before. And now I've drove this vehicle several times before in the past, and it feels more robust, feels more well put together. So that one valve and that one cylinder had to have been doing it for a very long time. So again, I had the old oil filter on here. Should have had plenty of time to bleed off. Yeah, let me get some gloves. Be very gentle. I got just a micro guard, nothing special. oil this around here. Oh, like a micro guard without the logo on it. I give Volkswagen credit. I mean, this car does drive extremely well. The cool thing also about this vehicle is it has like the cam cover has a wide mouth, unlike a lot of other vehicles where they're just so small, especially like Toyotas. You got to put oil in there. You got to take your precious time putting it in there because it just takes forever. Alright, let's check the oil level. So we're good. Now, don't mind the viscosity that I put in there because that's not the correct viscosity on the container. I buy my oil in bulk, so and this is a synthetic blend of the proper viscosity oil that goes in this car. So we're not gonna worry about that. So I'm pretty sure it says 0 weight on there, and it's just a container I had laying around. So everything's fine. All right, let's start it up. So one more thing before I conclude this video, because like I said, everything worked out very well with this vehicle. I'm just going to prove to you that there's no check engine light codes present. And we're just going to basically do a generic quick scan, look at the monitors. And so yeah, so we have 2 incomplete monitors. Oh shoot, let me go back. Get stuff set up. All right, let's go to incomplete monitor readiness. Go to focus. Since cleared, and we have monitors that are in okay status that have ran and some that are incomplete. But let me show you the numbers. Let that show you vehicle status. Alright, so we got 0 codes found. Monitors non-applicable. So there was a monitors that the standard has that gets utilized by the vehicle. Monitors that are okay, that passed, are 7, and we have 2 incomplete. So let's see, since there's no codes, I'm just going to show you that there's no codes present, so no more misfires, and there's no fault codes. So what that explains is that the car was legitimately driven 60 miles with no codes present. So if you know how clearing codes and incomplete monitors work, why does damn thing don't want to focus? So if you know how codes work and incomplete monitors, you'll know that when you do clear codes, it resets all the monitors. You can't do that. You can't have okay monitors with isolated codes that are erased. So there's no way I could have had a misfire code or any issue regards to a sensor, map sensor, mass airflow sensor, evap or whatever, and clear that, just that isolated code. So the misfire's fixed. There's no leaks, and I didn't go by the exact book. I didn't even use the factory sealant. But only time will tell with this vehicle and see how well it holds up. So the ultimate test is the test of time here. The oil, I put a thinner oil, so 530. It utilizes a 530, from what I understand, as a standard oil for this vehicle. Don't hold me on that. But that we have been putting 1030 because of the oil consumption. Something thicker will be more viscous. It'll have a harder time going through crevices, and it'll slow that oil consumption down. But I have put a 530 in here, being that it's close to getting cooler as far as the ambient air temperature, which will indicate that the oil is going to thicken up. Spit. Thicken up. Okay, once the oil is going to be thicker. Other than that, things that like I said, I utilize common sense to get around, and this car's working perfectly fine with no issues. And again, I mean, but then again, it is an experience thing. So I'm in good shape. This car's in good shape. My customer's going to be in good shape. The next major repair is going to need is a turbo, and that joke is pretty expensive. It's like $1,800 for a remanufactured one, not including labor. But it's a really good working car, despite my confirmation biases or my biases with Volkswagen. It's a really good running car, and hopefully, you know, it stays up and continues to run in the fashion it is running at its current state, which is no issues, no misfires, and running good. And especially it should run a lot better once we get that turbo taken care of in the future. And hopefully I'll be able to document that. Haven't looked to see if there's any videos online. I just have my people I look at, and they do variety of extensive diagnosis and stuff. So, but we'll see, man. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, and have that reassurance in my work. See you on the next one.